Hello again. So I just picked up a ZV E10 Mark 1 again. Now, if you've seen my last video, I've actually bought a ZV E10 Mark 1 a couple of weeks back as well. But I sold that one because the way I usually see it is if I have too many cameras, I usually put two of them on sale at a decent price. Like I literally made some good money on it, and I'll tell you later in the video how much. But the point is, I put my ZV-E1 as well as ZV-E10 Mark 1 on sale, and fortunately or unfortunately, they both sold within the same week, and I've actually got a really good price for both of them. So hence I sold them. But now I was just left with my Lumix S9 as well as a Sony A7C II. Now you might be thinking that that doesn't sound to be a bad thing at all. Those cameras, like both of them, are really nice and really well regarded when it comes to getting your content out there. But the reason I like this ZV-E10 Mark 1 is, first of all, because of its size and the fact that it's so small that I don't feel too much of a hassle to carry it. And the second thing would have to be the price, especially the used market price. Because if you think about it, I bought my A7C II I bought it on discount for, let's say, 2,300 Australian dollars. And that's very low for that for that camera. Usually that goes around to 2,800 or 3,000. That's their retail usually after discount. But I bought it at a very good deal. But still, and the same goes with my Lumix S9. I think I paid 2,300 Australian dollars for that. And that brings me to the point that, if I'm using a camera like ZV-E10 on a outside environment where I actually have to leave my camera at a place where it might be stolen or someone can if not nick it, then damage it, and hence I'm way more comfortable doing it on a camera like this one, which this one I picked up for $500, like 500 Australian dollars. That's really good price for a camera which can do 4K 30, 4K 25, and it gives you a decent quality image. And the best part, I can use the lenses which I already have for my other cameras, so it's not like I have to go buy new lenses. And hence I picked it up again. And the other thing which this camera would serve if I'm not using it outside, because I do have a DJI Pocket 3 as well as Action 5 for all the outside needs, especially in the daylight. This would be a perfect camera for me on my studio desk setup. And I can even do sort of a multi-cam setup with my Sony cameras if I want to. And for that to work, I need to have two cameras, and I didn't want to spend too much money. And ideally, I would want this to be a ZV-E10 Mark II, because I've used that camera in the past as well as in the recent months. And the image quality that you get out of that camera is really nice, and it's way better than this one. But if you think about it, the least I've seen that camera to be sold on used market is around $1,000. This one I picked up for half the price. And if I sort of get a decent lens, including the one that I'm using right now, which is a 11mm from Sony. This is a 1.8 fast aperture lens. And I would be able to get both of them under $1,000, and that would be perfect setup for me to start making videos. As mentioned earlier in the video, I sold my ZV-E10 Mark 1 recently, and the reason I did that was because I picked it up for $1,100, and that included the mic that I'm using, which is a Rode Go 2, as well as the lens that I'm using on this one. And I was able to actually sell it for a similar price without selling my lenses. So that came with two lenses, one Sigma 31.4, which I sold separately for $300, and this one, which I don't plan to sell unless I replace it with a 15mm 1.4 from Sony. because that lens seems to have a better quality in low light, as well as would have a framing which I prefer. This is just a tinsy bit too wide for my taste. So hence, it was a good deal for me to sell it. I made some money on it. I literally made $300 on the lens, as well as I'm keeping this lens. So if I have to buy this lens, even used, it wouldn't cost me less than $300 to $400. So in that case, I made $600 just by swapping or buying the camera and selling the camera. And if you think about it, I picked this one up for $500, which means I'm still $100 positive when it comes to actually the overall value that I've got for my sale. And therefore, I believe, although I would have liked the ZV-E10 Mark II to be in my kit, but this is still a fantastic camera to work with. And the only thing that it doesn't have is, first of all, 10-bit colors, which is good in the sense that, like, if you have option of 10-bit colors, it's easy to color grade, which currently I've just started color grading my clips. So it's not something which I've been doing for the longest time, but it's good to have 10-bit colors, but it's not a must-have, especially at the skill level that I am. And if I really want to color grade, and if I really want to color grade, I can always get my Sony ZV, not Sony ZV, the Sony A7C II to take those, I think, videos where I actually need to color grade. With this one, I would be doing more to do with the, I think, studio setup, as well as just taking it casually, just keeping it in the car so I can take videos like this one. So hence, let me know your thoughts. Like, I literally had to drive hundreds of kilometers to get this one because it was such a good deal. So I was like, even if I go back and forth and spend 2 hours in driving, I would still be saving at least $300, because usually they retail for $750, $800, like on used market. That too with a couple of extra batteries which I got. So I think it's a good deal, and the camera seems to be working fine. It's just missing that top furry cat hat that it comes, or the wind noise reduction that it comes with. But either way, I never use that as long as the port works, which I was not able to test because the hot shoe on this, you need a hot shoe adapter mic or a flash or any device which actually pairs with the hot shoe for you to be able to test it, which I didn't have access to at this moment. But the deal looked genuine. The guy who's selling it looked genuine, and he got 6700 and other cameras. So the reason for him to sell it sounded alright, and that's sometimes enough, especially for the price. And I checked it that the video is working, it's recording, the mic's connected, so I don't expect anything to be wrong. And that too, like, if it is, that $500 is a gamble that I was willing to take on a camera like this, because if you think about it, only the lens that it comes with and the batteries alone cost like $100, and you're getting a camera for essentially $400, which is perfect for me and my scenario for talking head like this one, because otherwise I would have to get my A7C II and or Lumix S9, which are good cameras, like, don't get me wrong, they are way better quality than this one. But the fact that I don't have enough audience or the big enough presence yet, that I might as well start on this one and be comfortable with the art of filming, the art of speaking, and just focus on those aspects, and just use this combo, this lens, this camera, and you and me.